You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Hello, I'm Stephen Willis, host of the Locked On Ole Miss podcast, and I'm joined by Tom Vanderford for his weekly segment on all things Ole Miss. We're going to talk a little Ole Miss football. We're going to talk a little Ole Miss baseball, and then we're going to take a break. And then after that, he is going to give his top 5 Ole Miss quarterbacks. How you doing, Tommy?
Yeah, I'm doing wonderful, man. How about you?
Doing all right. I think we're at about like 110 days or something like that until football season. Once it gets below 100, I will be a little bit better, honestly.
Me too. I like the uniform countdown when they bring up past players with the certain numbers, from 99 down. I enjoy that.
Yeah, I like it when they hit a number like, I don't know, 73, and they actually have to work to find somebody that wore that number so they could put it out. It's like, I remember him. And that's like the one time of the year that you think of like Fuzzy Huddleston.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I
like number 49.
Yeah. That name just popped in my head for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So, some lines came out from DraftKings, and I talked about this tomorrow's show where we have John Macon. We talked about the line early. We talked about it on Thursday's show, I think it was as well. But LSU came out as a favorite over Ole Miss. Now, Tom, Jaden Daniels graduated. He was the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. He was a great player. He was their leading passer, their rusher. He was their offense. They lost 2 first-round wide receivers. They lost Logan Diggs to Ole Miss. Why are we getting the impression, and why does Vegas think that LSU is going to actually be good?
I don't know. I think maybe it's the mystique of Death Valley. I don't know. But, yeah, I don't see it that way. I think that we maybe they're not used to what the new Ole Miss is yet either. We've got a Bama type team. We really do. And, people aren't used to that. And, they're used to LSU and the mystique of Tiger Stadium. But I'll be honest with you, as long as Brian Kelly's the coach there, we've always got a chance to beat those.
Right. But I said something earlier in the week that's like, if you just take Ole Miss's roster, don't change a single thing, and just put them in crimson uniforms with numbers on the sides of the helmets, they're number 1 in the country.
Exactly.
And that kind of lets you know how perception works.
Exactly. We've got a brilliant offensive mind, brilliant defensive mind that both coached at Alabama, and they have crafted this team through NIL and through the portal and through high school and JUCO recruiting to be a whole lot like those Alabama teams that went on to win national championships.
Now, to change the subject and to a much less happy version, let's talk a little bit about the baseball team. The baseball season kind of, I think, mercifully ended Wednesday night. That grand slam kind of put everybody out of their misery. But the fact that everybody had to sit up for 5 hours and something to watch a midweek game against Murray State, hey, at least they burned up all their pitching before they played the best team in the country this weekend.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. I work with some Mississippi State grads, and they were offering condolences Thursday morning for what happened Wednesday night. I'm not going to say it was the last straw, but it almost, it's something's got to change. I don't know if it's Mike Bianco finally getting a pitching coach or what, but something has got to change. We've got good players. We've got a lot of talent on that team. Unfortunately, we don't have a Kevin Graham and a Tim Elko and
Jacob Gonzalez
bench, and exactly, we don't have that core of leaders. But we got tons of talent on the team. We just, something's missing.
I'm going to be directly dead honest to the entire Ole Miss fan base right now. Okay. And this is probably going to be opinion that a lot of them is not going to like. But the fact of the matter is football is completely rolling at Ole Miss right now. Mm-hmm. It is the face of the university. You want it to be rolling. So whatever happens, you cannot take $1, 1 red cent away from what's going on in football. And with basketball building up and the promises you made there, you can't really take money away from basketball either, which means Mike Bianco needs to stay. There's no reason to pay a $4 million buyout and put football and basketball in harm's way because egos have done. The best thing you can hope for in baseball is essentially break even. We're going to break even. It's going to just kick the can down the road, maybe hire a pitching coach, maybe hire a position coach. I don't know about that, but do not put football and basketball at risk over your ego.
No. And to be completely honest with you, I work with a guy that's a Diamond Club guy. Mm-hmm. He has lots of friends that are in that group too. And he told me, he said, Bianco's not going anywhere. So,
and honestly, he deserves to go off on his own terms. He did something that nobody else has done.
I completely agree.
Mm-hmm. So, but I understand why people's upset. I understand that's happened. I understand that they're freaked out and all of that stuff, but you got to be a little bit real. There's no such thing as an everything school. You have to pick and choose what you are. If you're a jack of all trades, you're a master of none. So you have to pick and choose, even at a place like Ole Miss, where you're going to put your resources. And you can't take away from other ones to force feed something that is not really enough of a return to essentially matter in the big scheme of things.
Completely agree. That's the one thing I love about the NIL, the Grove Collective. When you go in there and you sign up, it asks you where you want your money to go. Mm-hmm. And of course, everybody knows mine's going to football. What is, but I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Anyway, thanks for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. When we come back, we're going to get Tom Vanderford's top 5 list of greatest quarterbacks in Ole Miss football history. Stick around for that. But first, Gametime is an authorized ticket marketplace of the NBA, which makes getting playoff tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Gametime app actually go down the closer it is to tip-off. And with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and the lowest price guarantee, Gametime takes the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets. They have views from your seats in every single venue. They got the lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection. You can take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Passion, drive, and patience, the formula for winning championships, is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay's guaranteed fit, honestly, your part's guaranteed to fit your ride every single time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home some huge wins. So keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay's guaranteed fit is only available to U.S. customers. Are you watching Fox Sports or ESPN on your TV all day and have to turn down the volume with all of that screaming and shouting? Make the switch to Locked On Sports today. It's a free 24/7 sports streaming channel programmed for you every single day to bring you the biggest stories without all of that screaming. Locked On Sports today brings you can't miss analysis, opinions, and news streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. All right, Tommy, it's time to get on the hot seat, buddy. All right, so the top 5 quarterbacks in Ole Miss history, the way this works is I'm going to count you down from 5 to 1. You give me what you need to do, and whoever you leave out of that top 5 at the end, we may circle back and talk about them a little bit as well. Is that all right?
That sounds great. Can I start with 2 honorable mentions that didn't make my top 5?
We will as soon as you give your top 5. We'll do that in the circle round part.
Sounds good.
All right, number 5.
Chad Kelly.
All right, why?
He would be number 1 if he wasn't such a head case, but
yeah. I got you there. All right, number 4.
Matt Corral.
Okay. Any particular reason there?
No. He's a solid, legit number 4.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, Jackson Dart.
A lot of Jackson Dart is number 3 popping up on these lists, and you can see that everybody kind of recognizes what is in store and possible for him this season.
I agree.
Yeah. Number 2.
Number 2 is Eli Manning.
Ooh. Are you going with the patriarch here with number 1?
Yes. Wow.
Right.
Why would I not?
Okay.
Yeah. Number 1 is Archie Who. Archie.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've got the button right over my shoulder.
Yeah.
All right. So your honorable mention. What are the names for honorable mention?
Bo Wallace. I think if Bo doesn't get his shoulder hurt, he might have played on Sundays. And then just because I got a special spot in my heart for this guy, John Darnell.
Okay. What about John Forcade?
Man, John Forcade was awesome. He really, and it was hard leaving him out of this. He did a lot for Ole Miss football.
He did. And I noticed none of the list, nobody's mentioned Rush Yowes. And before anybody thinks I'm making fun of Rush Yowes, I'm not. I generally like Rush Yowes in that 1991 and 1992 team when he was there. I think it was 91. I was 15 years old. I was right in my childhood Steve Willis wheelhouse. So I really do have a special place in my heart for Rush Yowes.
Oh, Rush,
so,
Luke. Oh, man. I love
those teams, those last Billy Brewer teams, like a lot of fans don't even remember. And one of these days we'll do the top 5 wide receivers, but like there's a serious special place in my heart for like Royal Preston and Jermaine Kahn and those guys playing. I think that was in 92 or 93. Yeah. I got to interview Eddie Small, and it's probably one of the highlights that I've had doing this was talking to him.
That is so neat. Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to get there. We're going to be doing top 5s all summer. I don't know what next week's topic is going to be, but we'll get it figured out by Monday. But that's the way it is. Anyway, thanks for making Locked On Ole Miss your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Tom Vanderford, thank you so much for joining us. That's a pretty nice top 5, buddy.
Thanks, man.
All right. Hotty toddy, bub.